Michelle Lee here. I am a spiritual mentor for powerful women leaders, and I'm jumping in here today to share with you a little bit, an experience I had yesterday. I'm fresh, I still have cradle face, I think. I'm fresh out of a delightful massage, nice deep release in my back, so much fun, absolutely love it. Couldn't enjoy a nice, deep, relaxing massage like that if we weren't in the 3D, if we weren't in the physical. But last night I had the honor and pleasure to coach a colleague of mine through a difficult situation, and she was very emotionally distraught and very caught up in her perceived experience. And she works closely with people. She is a nurse, and she had a very difficult day at work seeing someone suffer. And from that suffering, she snowballed, she spiraled into so many stories that continued to cause her pain. And then the story kept spiraling into her own personal life and relationships that weren't working. And it just snowballed. And after listening to her story and bringing her back to the beginning, within 10 minutes, she had total freedom from this suffering. And she could see, when I spoke to her, I helped her see in what moment she actually tuned in to the truth of suffering, and helped her to see her way out of it, how she fell into an illusion. And I remembered how when I first started coaching many years ago, that the number one thing that I teach in my EFT training is to don't identify with your clients' stories. Yes, be compassionate for the emotions that they're having, because those emotions are very real. But the story, the experience that they've had is also very real. But the story they make up around it is an illusion. And to be a great coach, to get accelerated results for your clients, it's important that as coaches, we stay disconnected from the story. We stay outside of the story. Yes, we see the pain, but it's being able to stay outside of that story that we throw. It's kind of like when you see a person drowning, right? You don't jump into the river of emotions. You throw them a lifesaver, or you put a pole out to them. You stay outside of the story. And that's the same thing. It's important that as a coach, or the coach you're working with, can stay objective to the entire situation. And yes, I feel your pain. I have compassion for your pain. And at the same time, this is all just a story, right? And so within 10 minutes, she was completely outside of the emotion. She was seeing so clearly where she gave up her power and where she actually made her patient a victim and disempowered her patient. Not in a physical way, but energetically, right? So anytime we disempower others, when we see anyone else as a victim of anything, whether it be ourselves or the world or the circumstances of the world, when we see anyone else as a victim, we are putting ourselves in that victim role as well. So I want to jump in and share with you that. I invite you to notice. Anytime you see anyone as a victim, you're going into the victim role. And that's where you give up your power, and that can spiral out, it can snowball out, and this one point in time can begin to bleed out over all of your relationships, all of your circumstances, every bit of it. So I invite you to stay present. And it's much easier when you have a mentor, a coach that can see objectively the story that you're telling and throw you that line to pull you out of that illusion. So if this sounds like something you resonate with, I invite you to check out my Making Light of Your Shadow 8-week intensive, where for 8 weeks, I'm going to be your coach, your mentor every week, looking at the stories you're telling yourself, looking at integrating that shadow self, really acknowledging all parts of yourself, because all parts are good, all parts love you, all parts want to be seen, all parts want to be celebrated. And when you do that, you actually harness the power of your unconscious mind to manifest and create all of the joy and pleasure and love and abundance that you desire. So Tori's going to pop in the registration link so you can go read, learn so much more about it. If you didn't see my free training on Wednesday, it's an hour free training. I jam-packed it with so many gems. Tori will also put the link for the replay in the comments below so you can get caught up. The last day to register for Making Light of Your Shadow is the day after tomorrow. It's Sunday, April 30th, because we begin this profound transformative experience and coaching container on Tuesday, May 2nd. And I would love to have you there. All right, everyone. Mwah! Happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I will see you soon.